Evening, everybody. Looking around, I haven't seen all that many familiar faces, which I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad for me. As you well know, you just got hit with a very large earthquake on Monday. The epicentre was not very far from here, and the ground accelerations this time were about the same as in February in this particular part of town. That means that you got the biggest amount of ground movement and damage of anybody, and I'm sure you're well aware of that. The ground movement and damage that we have seen this time is quite substantial, and it's different from last time because the epicentre was out that way, which meant the shock wave came towards us. Last time it came in the other way, so the slopes got hit from a different direction from what they did last time, and that's a significant contributing factor in why we've seen slopes fail or rocks come down in places we hadn't seen it before. We've got some photos that people are welcome to come and look at later. You'll all know that large sections fell off Whitewash Head, and as a result the cliff line up there has retreated by 15 to 20 metres in some places. You'll also know that along Heberden Avenue a small cliff above the road fell down. We inspected that after the first earthquake event. It looked fine. 10 minutes later it was down. The guys who had inspected it were absolutely flabbergasted. It looked ideal. Heberden Avenue itself, we've gone right back along Heberden Avenue and up Evans Pass and documented the new rocks that are down. There are about 100 new rocks. About a quarter of those have paint marks on them, which means they came from places that we knew about. It doesn't sound like a lot, but the reality is that we can't possibly put a paint spot on every bit of rock that comes down, because some outcrops are so dangerous and so unstable that the geologists just don't go to them. They just identify them, we record them with the GPS unit, and we know where to go back to stabilise them. So from our point of view, we think we did pretty well, because in nowhere that we've been anywhere in town have we found rocks that have been remediated that have come down. And that's almost a surprise, but the reality is that what we've done has actually been pretty good. It's just that a whole lot more rocks have come down. I'm sure you've got a few questions about those. Just to put it in context as well, there's been remedial work done on the Avoca Valley and at Bowenvale, and in those places no new rocks came down. It's the ground movement and ground accelerations were much less as you went in that direction. Probably the really big surprise around this part of town was above Wakefield Avenue, and you'll have seen that there are new containers being put along Wakefield Avenue. There's going to be, I don't know, 400 containers, wasn't it? 400, that's it? I don't even know where we're going to get 400 containers, but there are going to be 400 put along there because the cliff up above the old RSA and along behind the bowling green is very unstable. There are cracks extending maybe 40 metres back from the front of the cliff. There are cracks in the cliff itself. Another big shake that could easily come down. So those containers will be there, and they'll be there for a very long time. At this stage we just don't know. We have no idea what we're going to do to the cliff. We're just going to protect the road and evacuate some houses. Well, not the houses are evacuated already. There'll be some houses demolished on the top of that so that the ground's cracking underneath it. What have I forgotten, Rory? Kinsey Terrace? Clifton Terrace, I do both actually. So Clifton Terrace is currently closed. There's ground movement that starts up at the top of Kinsey Terrace and is taking in the Clifton Terrace area as it comes down. Some of the banks fell down onto the road. There's a retaining wall below the road that is unstable. And until we can clear the road and stabilise that, the traffic won't be allowed back up. And then Kinsey Terrace itself, as you saw, a lot fell off that and down onto the Peacock's Gallop area, including half a house. Again, there'll be houses retreated from along the cliff edge. Sorry? Time frames. In terms of access back up Clifton, we're talking days of digger time at this stage. There's monitoring in there to see how much movement's going on, and if the movement rates are too high, then the access up there will not be reopened. Emergency access has been created in from above so that you can get up to the Summit Road and come in that way, which is a long way around, I'm sure, but that's the situation at the moment. Similarly, emergency access is going to be put in from Godley Head Road down into Scarborough. We have a few concerns about the stability of the cliffs along behind the yacht club and just the odd rocks along Scarborough Road itself. If they come down, they could block the road. So the emergency access is going in there as well.